"Am I going to die?" the kid asked me as he was being rolled into the operating theater. It was a question I've heard 1,000 times before, but answering it truly hadn't become any easier, even after years at the hospital. "Of course not. We're going to fix you right up," I lied. He'd been crushed in a horrific car accident, and though we would put all our efforts into saving his life, hope was a limited resource. The fact that he even remained conscious despite losing most of his blood was bizarre enough. But after 10 years on the job, nothing surprised me anymore. The anesthesiologist quickly put him under while we scrubbed in for surgery. Damien would be the surgeon, a specialist in polytrauma cases, and I'd assist. No sooner had we opened him up before we shared a look of disappointment. "There's no chance in hell he survived through surgery." Despite our lack of faith, we tried our best, but only after half an hour of the table, Sarah gave out. "How is he still alive when he arrived?" Damien asked. He pronounced the time of death and left us to clean up the mess. I took the responsibility of cleaning up the kid for the morgue, a task I'd committed to countless times, too many times before. It wasn't something I personally enjoyed, but to me, it was my final chance to pay respect for the dead. The kid couldn't have been more than 15, and as I heard, he was just learning to drive, unexperienced, and attempting his first drive on a slippery road. He managed to steer off to the ditch. His father died on impact, but he lived himself long enough to face surgery. I put the needle in his abdomen. His body twitched for a moment. I retract the needle in surprise, wondering what had caused a post-mortem spasm. Then the boy suddenly gasped for air as his eyes shut open. He let out the most violent scream unimaginable as he suddenly returned to life. "Help me!" he begged with his guttural voice as he stumbled back his hand against the bench door. I called for help, and the rest of the team came running into the operating theater, each panicking as I witnessed the dead boy screaming on the operating table. His spine was fractured, though he was yelling in agony. He could do nothing to move. The anesthesiologist quickly attempted to sedate him while we checked his vitals. Despite all evidence pointing to the contrary, his heart had not started beating again. He was supposed to be dead. I started chest compressions, desperately trying to get his heart going. I cringed to the sound of his ribs cracking beneath my hands, and the boy's screams turned into gargles as he was unable to gasp for another breath. "He's not going under," the anesthesiologist yelled as he gave the kid a second dose of Profum. Of course, without a functioning heart, there would be no way for the drug to flow through his veins, even as I tried my best to pump for him. After an hour of compressions, the chief surgeon had intervened and offered us to stop. At that point, it caused more damage than we helped. What's happening to me?" the kid stuttered, still conscious. None of us responded. We couldn't find any words to describe the horrific sight before us. Most of the staff had left due to the sight. We'd faced many challenges in this, but nothing quite like this.